Hello and welcome back to the Mindful Spoon, the place where we heal our gut and we feed our soul. And in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I eat during a gastritis flare-up. I haven't had one of these in a very long time, and it suddenly just came to me all at once, and it reminded me that I really need to keep up with my digestion, consume the foods that help me digest food a lot quicker and make me happier, really. So I'm going to be sharing a couple of foods that I have been consuming, that I've been kind of taking, and then later on I might also post a video where I talk about the supplements that I take. Just let me know down in the comments if you want to know a little bit more about the supplements that I take for my gastritis. It has really helped me. I literally went on almost 2 months without any flare-ups, and suddenly it all came at once, but there's always a reason behind a flare-up, and for me it was personally just I was overeating a lot, I was going out to eat a lot. Now I know what not to do. So let's get right into the video. So one of the main things that I have been incorporating into my meals has been more fish, just because fish is easier for me to digest rather than red meat and chicken or turkey. Obviously this could be different with anyone, but for me, red meat, for some reason, it's so hard for me to fully digest. So I always try to eat as much fish as I can, whether it's salmon, good for the brain, or tilapia, which is low in calories. Those are always my favorite options, and I always kind of pair them up with some veggies on the side. As you guys can probably see, I have a couple of things that I use on the daily right here with me so I can show you. One of them being kefir. I love kefir, and I love the fact that it provides so many probiotics for the gut. Very tasty, and there's obviously one that is not flavored, so if you're looking for one that is plain, that has no sugar and it's not flavored, there is a non-flavored one. I think it's like a blue bottle. But this has definitely helped me, and on the days where I literally cannot even eat like solid foods, I love to have myself a cup of probiotics. My stomach sometimes feels like it's burning, and just the fact that it's something cold and it's something that's like soothing. Another meal that I really started eating a lot more is veggie soup. I literally just put in my favorite veggies that do not cause me bloating. I also want to add that with the veggie soup, you can add some ground ginger or some type of bone broth or chicken broth, because a lot of times in the gastritis diets, we do not take as much protein as we should. So by taking some bone broth should help out a lot with the protein deficiency that we're pretty much having every single day. Do be aware that broccoli and cauliflower and whatever it is not for everyone. Some foods will bloat you, so try to incorporate the foods that don't bloat you into that veggie soup, and it'll be perfect for you to digest a lot quicker. I like to make my veggies really soft so that it's a lot easier for me to chew through. That being said, I do like to add a lot more veggies into my meals. I actually started looking into the Whole30 diet. This is a diet composed mainly of fresh food, such as veggies, such as pure protein, and not really a lot of preservatives and not really a lot of junk food or sugars or dairy at all. But I really recommend eating a lot more veggies, literally making it almost more than half of your plate of veggies, along with a small portion of protein or whatever you can handle, and then maybe some grains or whatever it is. One thing that I have noticed with the Whole30 that I've been trying out is a lot of the gluten and a lot of the grains that I was eating in the past was what was affecting me. White rice I'm okay with, but when it comes to bread and stuff, I noticed that that really bloated me. I was gonna make a video where I talk about what I eat during gastritis, throughout the day, and show you every single meal. However, I noticed that while I was eating for breakfast, which had to do with gluten, it was like a piece of toast, it did not do me well throughout the day, and it just did not sit right in my stomach. So always be aware of what triggers your gastritis flare-ups. One thing that I did try in the past was to try more bland diet type of foods, such as bananas and oatmeals, and I do believe I tried that on the last big flare-up that I had, and it worked okay and it was fine. It did take me a little bit longer to digest, but I think it did make me full for a long time, because one thing that comes with gastritis really is just the symptom of being full all the time and not being able to eat, but at the same time you knowing that you have to eat in order to survive, but you literally just cannot eat. It's a struggle, but we'll get through it. Like I mentioned before, one of the other things that I kind of stopped eating so much is gluten. Different for everyone. I do believe that anyone can have bread to lose weight, to reach your goals. However, when it comes to something like this, sometimes it's a lot better to reduce the amount of that food that you're intaking, just in order for your stomach to just not have so much inflammation in it. With that said, I noticed that my body was the one that was kind of affecting me the most, and that made me realize how important it is for me to listen to my body. And that's another tip I want to give you guys, is really listen to your body. And kind of, there's times where I literally listen to my cravings more than listen to my body and what my body needs, and that's where I go wrong. That's where my flare-ups get even worse, because after not eating what I want for a couple days, I literally just want bread. I just want something to like kind of fulfill that craving. But sometimes it's a lot better to not listen to those cravings and listen to what's going to make you feel better in the long run and get you through the flare-up. Another thing is I stopped drinking caffeine, and that's something that I did mention on a past video as well, but I just want to reiterate that I made the same mistake, and you probably will make the same mistakes, where like I didn't feel the flare-up for 2 months and I was like, I'm Gucci, like I should be fine, I should not be able to have these flare-ups again. Maybe it was just like a hiccup or something, and then it comes back, and it was all because I had eaten way too much food, way too many like glutinous things that really affected me personally. And I also tried out caffeine one more time just to see that maybe it wasn't it, but I was wrong, and caffeine does have a big effect on my stomach personally. So just watch out for stuff like that. Maybe you'll be fine with caffeine, maybe you'll be fine with gluten, maybe you won't be fine with dairy, and you kind of have to substitute that. I also do think that there are some type of kefirs or similar yogurts that have probiotics that are not containing dairy and that are dairy free. Another thing that I've been trying out is aloe vera juice. Now this isn't the most perfect thing, the best tasting thing ever, but I do really recommend it. Maybe put a couple drops of lemon in there and you'll be fine. It'll taste a little bit like lemonade, but just like the probiotic, it's really refreshing because it's also in the fridge, or at least I put mine in the fridge. Another thing that I also take is apple cider vinegar. Now I don't just take shots of it and like go. What I always do is I mix it in with water, lemon, some ground ginger, some ground cinnamon, and a little bit of salt, and maybe like some sweetener like honey or so if you'd like. Apple cider vinegar is amazing. However, when you drink it, you have to make sure you drink it with some type of straw or something, because it can affect your teeth because it is very acidic. And this is also an amazing way for me to avoid acid reflux, which is one of the biggest symptoms that I've had in this past flare-up. There's times where I literally just make ginger tea out of ground ginger and water, and it de-bloats me and it helps me digest food a lot quicker. And the last topic I want to talk about is acid reflux. Like I mentioned before, it's one of the biggest symptoms that I've had this time around, and I notice it comes up a lot when I am either not moving at all or when I'm moving a lot while I'm working out and I'm doing some type of ab workout, and I'm kind of like bringing up all the juices back up when I'm doing crunches. That always kind of brings up all the acid, so I always try to kind of avoid those workouts and try something else, maybe some mountain climbers or anything like that that really doesn't require me to like stress that part of my body out to the point where all the acid comes back up on my throat, because having that feeling in your throat is horrible. Trust me, I've been through it, and I try to avoid it as much as possible for the time being. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped you in some way or another. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Obviously, these are not fully science-backed. Like, all the stuff that I'm telling you is just stuff that I've been trying out and have worked out for me personally. So don't think that I am a doctor. I'm not a specialist. If you have gastritis, please talk to a doctor first. I am currently seeing a gastroenterologist. I always mess up that word, but I'm currently seeing one, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped you, and don't forget to like this video down below, comment if you have any questions, or if you would try any of these things. Thank you once again, and I will see you on our next video. Bye!